you've been playing Fortnite for a while, right? And you keep dying. Oh my. And you want to win. Enough crying, enough sapping, enough simping. We are going to go over a few tips and tricks maybe that you've heard of or not about how to be better on console. You're looking for different ways to improve your Fortnite game on console, and you're fiddling with the sticks, and you're like, what are you doing with your life? Get your controller, right?
Threw it on the ground.
There's one thing that is not in the game, and that'll actually improve your game, like overall, like on console, with any game you throw at it, a Scuff Impact controller, or any Scuff controller for that matter. And let me tell you why you're gonna benefit from this more than any other game. Probably more Fortnite in this case, only because there's a lot of buttons in Fortnite that you need to be pressing a lot. Stop pressing, man. As you guys know, Scuff has been around for a long time. You have different types of controllers for PS4, Xbox, and that's about it, because that's all that's relevant. As you can see here on my Scuff, I have 4. There's other versions where there's only 2 buttons. Obviously, it's a little cheaper to get those, but especially with Fortnite, I think that you can benefit the most from having those 4 paddles in the back. Basically, what these buttons on the back do is they press the face button. So they press triangle, circle, X, and square. Why would you need buttons on the back of your controller? There's only more to think about. Well, the advantage here, the main advantage actually, is that whenever you're playing Fortnite, for example, or looking around in any game, to press these buttons, you gotta take your finger or thumb off of the thumbstick, and you have to press one of the buttons, which makes your character basically not be able to look for like a split second. But that split second, especially in Fortnite, is crucial. It's like actually really crucial when you're in a firefight and things like that, when you need to be aiming all the time. So essentially, I could be pressing X while having both my fingers on the thumbsticks while also pressing X, which would be my right trigger, middle finger, right? Another advantage to the Scuff Impact controller is that it's actually shaped more like an Xbox controller. And I personally think and believe, stop ringing, the Xbox controller, Xbox 360, Xbox One controller are the best shaped controllers there are, period. I love PS4s. I literally only play on PS4 and PC. I can't get over the normal DualShock. I just can't get into it, right? But with the Scuff Impact, it's got a new shell, right? And it's kind of like more rounded out for your hands. It's really nice. There's a lot of other features you can add to your Scuff Vantage controller or your Scuff Impact, your Scuff Infinity Pro, things like that. You can add grip, you can add colors, you can add different thumbsticks, domed, concave. There's a ton of different things you can see on the site. You might be looking at this and being like, Ralphie, just get over yourself. Just buy a normal controller. I don't want to spend twice, almost 3 times as much money. The way that I look at this is that it's an investment. It'll help me play better. It'll help me make better videos for the channel. The reason why I got the 4 paddle is because I have each of these back buttons programmed to each button on the front. So I have my reload, I have my build, I have my switch weapons from pickaxe to my weapon I had before. So that's really helpful. So step number 2 is kissing my ass. Building sensitivity. So as you know, with any sensitivity in any game, you can actually control the X and Y axis, how fast you look up, how fast you look left and right. But in Fortnite, they actually give you the ability to change your building sensitivity. So when you switch into build mode, the sensitivity that you have there is going to be different than the one that you have when you're aiming or when you're firing, things like that. So you can actually get into building mode, turn that sensitivity all the way up, or at least a decent much like I did here, and spin really fast in building mode and build a lot quicker. And then when you're back into like aiming mode, you're able to like have a normal speed. So it allows you 2 settings for sensitivity. That's just something to keep in mind. So when you get shot in the back, you can quickly turn around instead of moving at that slow speed that you may be at and you might die. Brightness on your monitor and game mode. For example, a lot of PC players play on low settings. They turn their shadows off so they're able to see more people in the distance, but also indoors because it can get a little dark, right?
Could he be a bush?
Of course, on console, you can't change the fidelity of the graphics. So what you should do is you should increase your game brightness. And if that's not bright enough, go into your monitor and actually change the brightness on there. Mine has like an equalizer, a black equalizer in here. So it automatically decontrasts the image to make it more like poppy and brighter. And for people playing on TVs that are more hardcore into this thing, make sure you turn on game mode. On newer TVs, there's a setting where it's called game mode, where essentially it cuts down on input lag. So you're able to react a lot faster A lot of times people would say plug in your controller. You have a little bit better latency doing that. But if that's not enough and you like playing wireless, make sure you look in your TV settings to see if there's game mode, and make sure you check that on. My monitor is an esports 144 Hz gaming monitor, and even out of the box it didn't have like instant mode on. I had to turn it on, and now it's just like electricity, man. It's like super 1 millisecond. Just, I know not everybody has a gaming monitor or a computer monitor to play on, but check your TV settings. For the most part, there's always a game mode or something to reduce input lag. Wow, actually number 4 was going to be grappling trees to redeploy glider, but that's not a thing anymore. One thing that I've noticed, at least in the times that I've won, is that I mine the crap out of materials towards the end of the game, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You might think initially you want to get as many materials as you can. You never want to go below 200 materials total. I think everybody knows that. But even more so at the very end, if you got 10 more people to go up against, you need to mine the crap out of everything, because more often than not, your game is going to end vertically with a ton of people building up or building at different parts of the map, sniping each other. Having all of that materials pretty much grants you a much better advantage than other people, because all game long people are using materials to kill people, but they never remember to get more materials by the end of the game. They're so caught up in being number 1, but by the time they're in a firefight toward the last 5 people, they forget, they lose materials, and they have nothing else to do but sit there in a corner and hope that they land the shot. If you play it smart, you are almost always going to win with that material advantage. And the last tip is to be quiet. Shut the fuck. And what I mean by that is, don't go barging, running into a building. If you land on a building, just don't move, just for a quick second, just so you can hear if there's anybody in that building. And when people are in a firefight, you want to be crouching around the areas that have that place, because not only are they going to have all that fire going on, you're going to be able to move stealthily, quickly, quietly, and you'll have a better chance of getting from behind, above, left, right. I'm sure a lot of this has come pretty obvious, as you guys are pretty familiar with Fortnite and how it works, but let me know down below, what are your tips and tricks to playing Fortnite? What helps you get that victory royale? You need to tell me, because I gotta take your advice. Subscribe, like, do all that kind of fun stuff, because we actually got a few giveaways coming in the near future, so you don't want to miss any of those giveaways. And I will catch you guys in the next one.